Hello and welcome to another episode of The Lions Den. I am Jocelyn Pomplin, and today I am joined by cross country runners Cecilia Perez and Angel Cordero. Both of you, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
How has the semester gone so far?
I think I'm getting a bit of senioritis, but we're getting by. So,
My semester's been pretty good. Transition from community college to four-year institution has actually not been too bad. So,
All right, now kind of, going off that transition, how has it been on the cross country side? How does this year compare to 2 years at the junior college level?
you would imagine it wouldn't be that big of a jump, but in my personal experience, I felt the difference, and so far I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's better competition and better training, and I love it so far.
It's good, but we're glad you're here. And to see kind of for you, personal best this year in both the 5K and 6K, so really, really improved from year to year. What's been different about this year compared to your first two?
I think just knowing that it's my last year, but then also knowing that me and my roommate Maddie kind of had to step into that leadership role that's driven me to be better and give it my all every practice. And also, it's the first year I've been injury free the whole season, so I think that's helped a lot in improving.
So, so you and Maddie are really tight. You said roommates. You two have been leading the pack for pretty much the entire year. Just talk about her a little more.
Well, me and Maddie have been roommates since our freshman year. We did not know each other at first, and I'm sure I drive her crazy, but I've loved watching her improve year by year, and she's an inspiration to me both running wise, but then just her positivity and this radiance about her. I admire that as well, and I just love running with her in general. I think she pushes me every practice, and if it wasn't for her, my easy runs would be really slow. So she pushes me there too, but not too much, of course.
And then, after practice, after meet, you guys are right there,
Exactly.
for each other
Yes.
outside of cross country.
Yes. We love our sweet treat runs. We do that a lot together as well.
And now for you, Angel, you got a couple senior leaders. Isaac, Joaquin have been here a while. Talk about them as leaders for you coming in.
So when I first met Joaquin, we ran we're both from Fayetteville. So we met up for a run. I was working an overnight shift, and I decided to run with Joaquin one day, and we ran 6 miles at easy pace, and he talked about Fort Smith and how I would like it there, and he's been a really good friend and a leader to the whole team. He keeps us accountable every time. Isaac, I have a few classes with him, and he's always chewing me out when I'm doing something I'm not supposed to, and I feel like we've become a really strong family. I wish I would have knew them sooner since I just transferred here, but those two are like big brothers to me, and I love them so much.
Now, kind of on the other side, you've got, you're an upperclassman. You've seen freshman Evan Smith, leading the team a couple of times this year. Talk a little bit about him.
Evan, he just came out of high school, and he still has a little bit of that high school mentality. But I feel like he's grown so much as a runner and as a person throughout this cross country season, and I can't wait to see what he does next year and the years to come.
For both of you, what kind of has been your favorite part about running here at UAFS?
For me, it's just how close you get with everybody so quickly. And thankfully, there's never really been any issues between us. And I think, yeah, I just love that about our team. That it's so cheesy, but we really are a family. So, yeah.
My favorite part about running here at UAFS would probably have to be the long runs. So we talk a lot on the long runs on Saturday. I know we wake up so early. We get there at 6. So um, throughout the whole season, it's been dark, and you know, to have that much energy that early in the morning, man, it's just sometimes so crazy. The jokes we just say, it makes the long run feel faster. So I think that's my favorite part.
I'd agree. You have
The
a lot
long
of good
runs.
conversations.
Yeah.
And speaking of long runs, now we have Coach Rhodes behind the camera for right now. He'll be joining us here after you guys. What is your favorite and least favorite workouts?
I love a 20-minute tempo. Just, I don't know, 20 or 15 minutes. And I don't know, it's just not, it makes me feel speedy without making me feel like I'm dying.
Mm-hmm.
And then going off of that, I feel like we've done a lot of 800 repeats this this year, and that definitely took the cake this year as my least favorite. I don't like them.
My favorite workout would have to be the 8 to 10 by K. So 8 by 10, 1,000 meter repeats. My least favorite workout would have to be the 3 minute on, 3 minute off at Trinity. Those hills, man, those hills are terrible, and I feel like all the guys' team would probably agree with that workout.
At least we got some variety in there, so we don't have to tell Mason to say, "Hey, stop this."
Oh yeah, yeah,
we got some variety, so I guess you just keep on keeping on.
yeah. You gotta do your hills, unfortunately.
He's back there making a fool of himself.
Yep. No, just kidding.
Okay, so we got your workouts in, which kind of leads us into your preparation for a race. How do you get your mind right for a race? Any superstitions or anything like that? Anything you have to do before a race or avoid?
I don't really have superstitions. I just like to not think about it too much. Especially this year, I feel like I've been really good about not putting so much pressure into it because I don't know. I'm trying to word this correctly. It's my last year, so I just want to soak it all up while I can instead of remembering the negative feelings I'd have about racing otherwise. But I also like whenever we play games a lot the night before a race. So I guess that's a good routine we have. So, yeah.
To get locked in, I have to listen to music. I tend to think a lot, not positive thoughts before the race. I get those nervous jitters in me, and to flush everything away, I have to listen to some Travis Scott before the race. I feel like that helps me out a lot.
Favorite song?
Favorite song? Just that artist. Yeah, any song of that artist is pretty good. So.
And now, along with preparation for the race, what is your go-to pre-race meal, and then same post-race meal?
Pre-race, yeah. My favorite pre-race meal would have to be Olive Garden, and specifically, I'd order a seafood Alfredo with broccoli. Those are perfect if you want to have a good race the next day.
And post-race?
Post-race would have to be tropical smoothie and a chocolate peanut butter smoothie. So that's the best thing you could possibly get after the race.
I'll have to try the seafood, maybe, for regionals. But I like the chicken Alfredo with broccoli. But if I could have just the broccoli in a bowl, I would, with the breadsticks.
No broccoli for me.
And post-race, I love crumble cookie after a race. So.
How are we supposed to refuel after a race, not go to the sweets and desserts?
No, that's exactly where I go every time.
Well, who is your biggest inspiration to running, or even in life in general?
We've talked about Joaquin and Isaac. I feel like I look up to Isaac a lot. He's he got married this past summer. I wasn't able to attend because I didn't know him at the time, but he's just such a great guy, and I feel like I want to be like him. And yeah, that's my biggest inspiration, Isaac T.
Oh, I feel
I
like
mean, you
there's
touched on Maddie a little bit. Anyone outside the team that you look up to, or is it
well,
Maddie?
no, I do. I honestly, yes, I do. Like I said before, I do admire Maddie, just both in running and off the course. She's just so positive, and sometimes I feel like I lack that, or I feel like I always like I show my emotions, and she always um, gives gives me motivation or like a positive word, and yeah, I want to be like that on a daily basis as well.
Okay, and so far from this season, what has been your most memorable race?
Me, I feel like RSU, Roger State, the distance after dark race is probably the most memorable, just because it's so late at night.
Right.
But
Different running at night compared to everything else.
yes,
8 o'clock
yes,
in the morning or whatever.
yes. It doesn't feel that. You would imagine it'd be easier, but that race was humid and longer than it was supposed to be. But the vibes there were pretty good. They had music going on, and it felt like everybody was close together, and it felt more chaotic in a way, and I like that. So that's for me my most memorable race.
For me, it was probably conference, just because I was able to see the team spirit so much more there. And when I was watching the guys race and them finishing, I almost shed a tear. They were just so. I feel like you could write a book about that, or a song about the emotion of just seeing the pain and the emotion in their faces as they were finishing, and then their teammates shouting as loud as they could for them. I really love that about our sport, and that's why that's my most memorable race. So.
And kind of looking ahead, what are your goals for the regional meet this weekend? And it's, of course, you've run on before in Joplin.
Yes. Conference was a little long for our 6K, so my goal is to get another 6K PR, and hopefully it'll be a big jump. So yeah, that's my goal, a PR.
MSSU is always a hard course. I've been running that course since 10th grade, 10th grade in high school. So, I had a really good race this year at MSSU at the AK. That's my PR. Yeah, my career PR actually in the AK. So my best time was running that course. My goal is to get a good time. I want to beat the freshmen, but we'll see if I get it. Yeah, 10K. Hopefully I can get him. I have more experience, so that's my goal: finish first on the team and get us some points.
Okay, and last thing for both of you, what are you majoring in, and what is your post-grad plans?
I am majoring in biology, the pre-med route. I hope to go to med school. I'm taking a gap year this next year, but hopefully I can go in 2027 and be a pediatrician. That's the goal. Or some type of surgery, but
not sure which kind yet.
I'm thinking about pediatric surgery, but obviously that's something that deals with a lot of hardships. So, I mean, I'm still keeping my options open, but
yeah. You want to help kids.
Yes. And right now I'm studying for my MCAT, so I'll hopefully take that this spring and then start that application process. So,
good luck on all that.
Yes, thank you.
I'm majoring in education, so probably I'm also trying to help kids out. I want to teach middle school history, so just deciding whether I wanted middle school and high school was pretty hard for me. I've had pretty good coaches, and middle school and high school, and I feel like because of them, I felt like I also wanted to become a teacher and a coach. So just having these role models in my life, has gotten me up to this point, and I want to do the same thing they did for me to help other people. I live in Springdale. There's a lot of minority there, and I feel like if maybe they have a role model like I had, I can also help them grow and achieve good
You
things.
just really want to give back to the,
Yeah,
what's been good for you, do that for the future.
yeah, that's my goal.
All right. Well, thank you both for joining us today. Good luck this weekend at regionals, and we'll be right back and joined by Coach Mason Rhodes. And welcome back to the Lions Den. I am now joined by head men's women's cross country coach Mason Rhodes. Mason, welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Yeah, we're wrapping up the season already. I know it's hard to believe with regionals this weekend. What's the year been like so far?
Every single year, there's so much buildup during the summer, waiting for athletes to get back, knowing everyone's out doing their work. I have shoes and apparel and all kinds of running gear showing up in my office, just sitting in boxes, and I start getting a little shaky, just waiting for everyone to move in. And then the thing that happens inevitably, I blink and it's this time of year. We're done with the hard part of the season, which is the middle, and now we're into the championship segment. We just had conference, had our best finish ever on the women's side. The men are running better than we have last year. And now we're getting ready for our final go of the season. So, the women are coming off of their best finish ever, and okay, what else can we do? That's always the question of, we get one more shot for them at 6K. How good can we finish? For the men, it's completely different. They're going from running 8 kilometers to we're adding an additional 2 kilometers to their race. So for the guys, they're doing something that a lot of them haven't done either in an entire year or ever. So for the men, it's learning a whole nother distance at one of the most important times of the season. So for them, it's, let's go see what happens if we take a big risk and run as fast as we can and see who can hold on the longest.
Now let's get into it a little more details. You kind of mentioned it. Start with the women. Their highest conference finish in 8 years, finished 8th at the conference meet in Pittsburgh, Kansas. Just talk about that group, despite missing a few of your top runners.
Yeah, this season has been very surprising for me. When you look at the numbers, our entire team has gotten better, top to bottom. Maddie and Cecilia, we were looking the other day on the drive home from a race that they've had over a 2-minute progression in their times from their freshman year. Bella's had a big PR. Some of my new freshmen have been running PRs. Sadly, we have been without some of our top girls from previous seasons. Cadence had an injury pop up early season. Rachel and Haley are both taking on a new challenge in life. And it has, sadly affected their running results, but they're showing up at the end. And as you saw, Rachel led our team at our conference meet and was about a second off of her lifetime best 6K. What has been outstanding to me to see is the entire team has risen to a new level. Whether that's through summer preparation or seeing that there were some holes to fill, they did their job and showed up prepared, showed up ready for the workouts I was going to give them, and we're reaping the benefit. I think almost all of our women have come away this season with some form of a PR, and when we do that, that's when we see the big jumps in the team standings. So, looking at our conference meet, at best, we were picked 11th by the conference in preseason. When I was doing all of my math, trying to see where I predicted us, the best possible finish, I thought we would be 9th as a team. And when I'm watching the women go by me with a half mile to go, I'm on my phone watching the live results, and it pops in that we got 8th place. And I'm a little shocked. I'm waiting for it to
Update.
and, maybe drop us down to 9th, and it never did. And the realization that we accomplished something that I didn't even think was possible, which for us was 8th place on a conference finish. I never thought we would do that on the women's side, because nothing showed that we could, and they did the unthinkable and beat out the prediction and did better.
Now you kind of talked about a little bit there, but like almost every time I'm writing a recap, it's like personal best, personal best, personal best on the women's side. And then he said Maddie Thurston just had an outstanding year. Just highlight her, and Cecilia, who we had on earlier, have kind of gone from that bottom half of the scoring to now leading the team.
It was very fun to see, because we went into the season knowing that a couple of our key pieces were having life changes, whether that's teaching full-time, finishing their degree, and it opened the door for some others to maybe have a little bit more of a competitive role. We knew Cecilia and Maddie were both going to be graduating early, and I pushed them all summer to do a little bit more than ever before. They were consistent all year, and when they showed up, they showed out. Every time we got on the starting line to race, they were physically and mentally prepared to go. And that's not just on race day. I could count on them any day of the week to be ready to go at practice. No matter what I asked them to do, they took it with grace and accomplished it, and even ran better. One of the big changes I did this year is I turned a lot of the pacing on our workouts over to them. I would give them what I wanted them to hit for their first rep of the day, and then it was up to them if they wanted to either stay at that pace or get faster. And I would say almost every single time they would do a negative progression and get faster as we went through the workout, compared to what pace I put them at. And that's a sign that they're fully driven, they're locked in, they're ready to tackle the day. And that mindset showed up every single race day so far.
And now you mentioned, some are doing full-time teaching. Haley and Rachel Malik, been here 4 years, and now they're teaching full-time. You tell me they're getting up at like 4 or 5 a.m., to do their workouts in, and then going to teach a whole day class, and then still competing at a high level, on the weekends. Just, talk about them, being here 4 years, and now to see them do that while still competing.
Yeah, they came in as freshmen. I have built a little bit of the team around them. They came in very successful right off the gun. We've dealt with some injury issues over the years. And we knew going into this season, last spring, they got the opportunity to do their required student teaching in a full-time capacity. So in August, they started in the elementary schools in Fort Smith. They're getting paid to do so, but they are actively teaching elementary school kids in Fort Smith every single day of the week. And with that means that we had to really follow our mission statement, which the mission statement for our team is we are student athletes who are coming to UAFS to get a college degree, and cross country is the means to do that. And sometimes I have to take my own medicine and know that they might not be able to be at every single practice, because chasing that degree to have a lifelong career means that they got to go a couple practices maybe on their own or at different times. And so, I've been able to work with them because we built up that trust over the past years, where I knew they would do the work needed to be successful, while still being able to accomplish their goals, to have a very good degree from our institution and take it and have a lifelong career teaching.
Really putting the student emphasis on student.
Exactly. It's usually I'm the one that's having to give the clarity that you're also a student, but in this instance, I'm the one that's getting the realization that we are here to be a student first.
And now, kind of switching things up, on the men's side, you've had almost like a different person lead the team
Mhm.
every week, and then including a freshman, Evan Smith, who's led it twice. So just talk about just the difference, having multiple people step up.
So going into this year, the plan was to have a bigger team. We have 15 guys on the roster this year. Everyone showed up in shape. And when that happens, it's fun to watch them run.
Mm-hmm.
When we do workouts, when we go out in the town and run, you just see a big glob of guys running without shirts. And what makes it really fun is when we go do workouts, we are leaning on our teammates to help share the load. Almost every workout we've done, we've only had, a 2-group separation where we'll have 6 to 10 guys in one group, 4 to 5 in the next group. And the entire workout, they're rolling between who's leading that rep. So that way some can rest a little bit more while the others take a little bit of the upfront, being in the wind, kind of breaking the pace. And that has really shown up on race day. If you look at our team spread at most of our races, our top 5 are usually within a minute. You look at top 7, top 8, top 9, they're not too far behind the rest of them. And what's happened is we've got a lot of like-minded guys who want to be successful athletically, and they've done the work to do that. And when you put them into a race modality, when they've all been doing the same work together, they've all been running together, racing together, instead of seeing a teammate and trying to beat their teammate at a race, they see a teammate and know, oh, that's almost like a speed boost. I'm going to get up on my teammate's shoulder. Now we're going to go together. We're going to push each other to do better, and in the process, hopefully beat more people, give each other a better finish than what we would if we were just chasing this thing by ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And now, Angel highlighted them when we talked to him. Your group of seniors, Joaquin, Isaac. Just talk about that group this year.
Yeah, Isaac and Joaquin have been through a lot. Their first year was a successful year. I was still learning a lot about training. We had a couple guys who were running very well, and they both actually fell into a little bit of an injury pit. They had successful freshman years, but both ended up with some kind of injury, and we spent about 1.5 to 2 years with both of them fighting through the injuries, fighting through setbacks. Isaac ended up having a broken ankle at one point. But it all kind of led to this year, knowing this was their final season. We got both of them to a point last spring where they were both running healthy, running without any kind of injuries or aches and pains, and knowing that this was going to be the last time they were going to be a senior UAFS cross country runner. So I gave them a good challenge of, let's go see what we can do. And it has been full circle watching them come in and both score for the team, running times that they haven't ran in 4 years, on the cusp of being faster than ever before. Because they've always both been very vocal leaders. You can always look to them to know what's the correct thing to do, and to see the athletic side also be there. That's really helped them be such successful leaders on the team. Because with cross country, half of it is, are you physically doing it versus are you doing it through your words and your actions? And they're doing it all. And it's always great for me because it means I can trust that the rest of the team is doing the right thing when our upperclassmen are showing the new guys and the young guys what the correct way of doing things is.
And last thing for you, let's preview for both sides the regional meet this week in Joplin. Like I said before, of course, you guys run on every year.
Mm-hmm. So for the women, we've got a very clear goal. We finished 8th as a conference in the conference. I would love to at least do that. Getting the next team, Washburn, will be pretty difficult, but we do have a target of them on our back. But more or less, we're gonna get to see the Arkansas schools. When we move to regional, every other D2 Arkansas school will be there. So one of our goals is to see how many of the Great American schools and the Arkansas schools that we can put behind us. because that's a little bit of a kind of a notch on the chest. We get a little chip on our shoulder when they're running in their own conference and we're in the MIAA. We want to show that we are the better Arkansas school, that we're in the place we're supposed to be. On the men's side, like I said earlier, this is a brand new race for most of them. Others haven't ran a 10K in a year. So I've told the guys what our school record is. It's very achievable for a couple of them. But at the same time, there's a couple teams that I think our guys' teams can beat. So I've given them a couple of the uniforms to be looking for. For the most part, for them, it's to go learn what it's like to run for about 30 to 34 minutes at your top speed and see what happens. See how it's a special feeling when you're out on a race course running for half of an hour. It's a pain you don't feel unless you're in that situation.
I don't want to run for half an hour. I did it in high school, and it was enough for me. Well, thank you, Mason, for joining us today. Good luck to you and both your teams this weekend at the NCAA Central Regional in Joplin. Good luck to both our teams. Thank you, first, Cecilia and Angel, for joining us. And before we go, so you got the cross country Saturday in Joplin for the regional. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, volleyball here versus Newman at the Stubblefield Center. Military Appreciation Night, presentation before the match. And Saturday, senior day before the match, 1 o'clock, Pittsburgh State here at the Stubblefield Center. Did you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah, so something my guys' team has done all year. Their slogan is "Bleed Blue, RAR."
Okay. We've never done that before. Again, cross country this weekend, volleyball this weekend here at the Stubblefield Center. Thank you all for joining in to another episode of the Lions Den, and we'll see you next time.
RAR.